Meow, hold on to your catnip, my friends, because the world of geopolitics just got a whole lot spicier. Captain America's less muscular brother, Jake Sullivan, has decided it's time for Uncle Sam to play global Santa Claus once again. That's right, Sullivan, our esteemed National Security Advisor and Chief Architect of Foreign Policy Mishaps, has announced a whopping $725 million military aid package for Ukraine. It's raining rockets and freedom in Eastern Europe. This latest attempt to stuff Ukraine's Christmas stocking comes with all the bells and whistles. We're talking about 30 HIMARS precision rocket launchers, 1,000 Stinger missiles for those pesky Russian aircraft, and 50,000 artillery rounds to make even the most trigger-happy general purr with delight. But wait, there's more. For the first time, we're throwing in 10,000 non-persistent anti-personnel landmines, because nothing says peace on earth quite like a field full of explosives, am I right? Now you might be wondering, why the sudden urgency? Well, my friends, it seems Kim Jong-un's volunteer tourism program has expanded to Ukraine. That's right, approximately 12,000 North Korean troops have decided that the balmy beaches of Crimea are the perfect vacation spot. And by vacation, I mean cannon fodder for Russian military operations. It's like a twisted version of The Apprentice, where the losers get sent to the front lines instead of the boardroom. Jake Sullivan, in his infinite wisdom, has emphasized the critical nature of this aid package. He sagely declared, "We're going to throw everything but the kitchen sink at Ukraine faster than a cat coughing up a hairball. These 50 days are crucial to ensure Ukraine is armed to the whiskers before potential policy shifts. Because nothing says let's negotiate quite like a shiny new arsenal, right? But here's where things get interesting, my friends. This military aid extravaganza is happening just weeks before Donald Trump's inauguration. You know, the guy who once said he could end the war in Ukraine in a day? Well, it seems the Biden administration is determined to make sure Ukraine is locked and loaded before Trump can even think about redecorating the Oval Office. Trump's been about as supportive of Ukraine as a cat is of a bath, hinting at potentially cutting off aid, saying he wants to force Ukraine to the negotiation table, because nothing says diplomacy quite like threatening to take away someone's toys, right? Now, let's put this $725 million package into perspective. Since Russia decided to play "My tank is bigger than your tank" back in February 2022, the US has sent over $61.4 billion in military aid to Ukraine. That's enough to buy every cat in America a solid gold litter box and a year's supply of caviar-flavoured kibble. But here's the kicker, my friends. All this generosity is starting to leave our own military cupboards barer than a cat's dinner bowl after midnight. Jake Sullivan admitted that in just 8 weeks of war in 2022, Ukraine burned through a year's worth of US 155mm artillery production. It's like watching your kids raid the pantry. Suddenly, you're left wondering if there's anything left for dinner. And let's not forget about our new players on the battlefield. North Korea, in a move that surprises absolutely no one, has decided to join Team Russia. Apparently, Kim Jong-un thought Russian meant rushing and didn't want to miss out on the party. In exchange for their support, they're hoping for some tasty morsels like food, money, and maybe a few nuclear secrets. Because nothing says responsible global citizen quite like trading soldiers for sandwiches and thermonuclear weapons, right? Russia, predictably, is about as happy with this aid package as a dog in a room full of cucumbers. Sergei Ryabkov, Russia's deputy foreign minister, warned that this might force them to resort to even stronger military means. Because apparently, what's been happening so far has just been a friendly game of Risk. Now, let's take a moment to appreciate the technological marvel that is the HIMARS system. It's like a high-tech toaster, except instead of burning your bread, it burns Russian tanks. And those Stinger missiles, they're the feline equivalent of a perfectly timed SWAT, knocking those pesky Russian aircraft out of the sky like flies. In the grand theatre of this conflict, Ukraine is like a scrappy alley cat, armed to the teeth by its American benefactor, facing off against the Russian bear. Meanwhile, North Korea is that weird hairless cat that nobody invited to the party, but showed up anyway. And the US? We're the crazy cat lady, throwing military hardware at Ukraine like it's catnip. Looking ahead, I predict the next aid package will include a fleet of space lasers and an army of genetically engineered super soldiers. Why stop at conventional weapons when you can go full sci-fi, right? So my friends, As we watch this high-stakes game of global monopoly unfold, remember to smash that subscribe button faster than a cat chasing a laser pointer. After all, where else are you going to get your daily dose of geopolitical madness served with a side of sardonic wit? Stay tuned, because in this crazy world, you never know when the next bombshell, literal or figurative, might drop. I'm Ron DeParmesan, and that's the Muse. Meow and good night.